Cool. I was on mute. Hey there, salam and peace. My name is Mat Sadiso, and you are watching the Live Before the Lounge. Live Before the Lounge comes before the Arabic Lounge, where you, as a Black female professional or a woman of African heritage who is working or volunteering their time alongside native Arabic speakers, whether they be homeless, refugees, or asylum seekers, where you get to have your say in the comments live as to what you would like to know how to say to better prep you for the interpreting assignment or session that you will have to better ensure a smooth interpreting session, and also help you follow along with the interpreter that you may have present. So I will put the link in the details. This Sunday, you will have a chance to take part in whatever words that you wish to know in Arabic in an interactive speaking workshop. And this is for beginners and basic users. So note, you do not need to know Arabic at all. And you don't need to be fluent in it as well, creating a safe space for Black female professionals. Alrighty, so the title is Home Visit and Age Assessment. So they could be two in one, or they could be separate. Really, a home visit could be for various reasons, really. As long as the visit is taking place in someone's home, then it's classified, as far as I understand, as a home visit. So I'm a level 2 interpreter, and I'm also bilingual. Arabic is my second language. So there was a post that I had put on social media, and it was raising a question before I dive into the vocabulary as to how important is being neutral. And neutral means you don't take any side, you don't take either side, whether you have an inclination for one side over the other. And there were two scenarios that I put forth. So one scenario was where you feel that someone, because of your understanding of their culture, may feel insulted by what you're about to interpret. And I've been in situations like that. And sometimes it's not so much as when I was interpreting, but rather after listening to the response. And hence the importance of being neutral, because being neutral is not just having or abstaining from being inclined to one side, but rather also I find that also maintaining a neutral tone in your voice as well plays a big role in demonstrating that you are neutral in a position, and that is not at all coming from you personally, as some of them may think, because you are talking in first person. So you are saying word for word what the other person is saying as if you are saying it, and not saying that he said this or she said that, but rather you're saying in first person, so I. So the second scenario was, okay, let's say, for example, that you are feeling that you are being insulted, whether as a person in general or because you are a Black woman. So that, again, is where I feel like being neutral comes into play also, again, reflecting it in the tone of your voice. Now, the question whether you should acknowledge that you have been, that you feel that you have been insulted in the moment, I don't recommend it, because I guess it depends of how big a gap you have in order to take the time to tune into what just happened to you there. It depends how long it takes for you to process as well. If you're like me, where I need time to process, debunk, and break down what happened, then I wouldn't recommend in the moment to break down what just happened and process it. Perhaps acknowledge if you feel like that is not going to affect the quality of your interpreting session. Like, I felt uncomfortable here. Let's put this aside, put it in a box, like put it in a virtual imaginary box, and you can deal with it later, whether after the session or perhaps when you I don't know, find yourself relaxing and doing whatever you do to debunk what happened to you during the day. And then there's another situation where perhaps you might feel that, okay, you know how some people work and they're not really being transparent there, or they're hiding something, or you feel like something is not quite right. Well, as an interpreter, it's not our job to basically call someone out and say that they are a liar. As what happens at the beginning of the session, we do housekeeping rules and we explain how we work. And one of the things that we say is that we are impartial. We do not take sides, and you're there just to facilitate the communication, and that's it. Even if you did strongly feel like someone was lying, it is not up to you to disclose that. Perhaps, okay, your feelings are valid, but we don't know the backstory. We don't know the context. And so even if we do strongly feel a particular way, again, I feel like being neutral plays an important part to saving yourself and possibly the interest of the service user from their chances of getting support being jeopardized and compromised. So yeah, so those are my three insights to those three situations where you feel you're being insulted as a Black woman and you feel like someone else might be insulted, or you feel like someone is not telling the truth. So if you are a Black female professional or an interpreter, please share below if you have encountered any situations where you felt like you were being insulted as a Black woman and how you dealt with it. I'm curious. And if you felt like someone was not telling the truth, how did you deal with it, or how would you deal with it? Okay, so let's get on to quickly some vocab that can be useful when you are paying a home visit and an age assessment. I'm going to actually do another live before the lounge, which is related to today. So hopefully you'll find these resourceful. You can get this as a free PDF on my website, bintahawadesigns.co.uk. I'll put the link below. And it's very useful to use this before coming to the interactive Arabic speaking workshops. So let's lift off. Okay, so age assessment is is part of the title. How do we say it? It is تقييم العمر. I've got the transliteration right here, so you don't have to worry about having to crack the code and read Arabic. And if you are already familiar with the Arabic alphabet, then this is just further support. So here we go. Listen and repeat. تقييم العمر. You also have another phrase, which is تحديد السن. All right. What about asylum seeker? طالب للجوء. طالب للجوء. So طالب means someone who is requesting, and the first letter or the phoneme, it's not in the English phonemic chart, but rather you would need to say the t sound, like in terrific, and then round in the shape of your mouth to get the sound. So instead of saying terrific, where you see either sides of my mouth kind of stretched, you will change it to make an O shape and say terrific, and then you've got it. So طالب للجوء. Applicant, مقدم الطلب. It may be that they have applied, or that you are referring to an applicant to a particular form. مقدم الطلب. Visa, there may be a situation where you want to ask, or someone where the service user is being asked what kind of visa they have, or if they have a visa. So تأشيرة, visa. Immigration, hijra, or depending on their dialect, they might pronounce the j as a g, higra. Okay, so we did applicant, طالب, طالب, مقدم الطلب. There it is. And then we're going to look at claim in general, مطالبة. So we have مقدم الطلب and we have مطالبة as claim. Status. So perhaps they would like to know the status of their application, for example, or you as a professional would like to know their status, their resident status. So we can say either مكانة or حالة. Disagreement. So there may be a disagreement between whether it is the service user and what is being said in a session, or there might be a disagreement with regards to the application. Whatever the case may be, here's the word. We've got خلاف. خلاف. نزاع is also another one, but it's more of a word that is used between two people, like physical contact, rather than a dispute / disagreement. So خلاف, we could use it as a dispute on paper, for example, a decision is being made, and نزاع is more of a physical encounter where there's a disagreement in a physical encounter. All right, subject to معرض لي. معرض لي. So if you're not quite familiar with the letter عين, finding it a bit of a challenge, it's just a squeeze of the throat. So معرض لي. Sailing through, we've got local authority. So many a time they will be mentioned with perhaps what type of support they can get in terms of submitting particular paperwork, in terms of decisions being made. So this is definitely a useful phrase for you to know how to say. The LA, or سلطة محلية. سلطة محلية. Right, so when dealing with a minor, it's likely that a caseworker or a social worker would be involved. So a caseworker, مدير الحالة. مدير الحالة. مدير actually means manager, but within context here, it's مدير الحالة is caseworker. So social worker, إخصائي اجتماعي. إخصائي اجتماعي, and depending on the dialect, we'll say اجتماعي. Sailing through, physical appearance. So there are some minors who are unaccompanied, particularly the males, and due to their physical appearance, the age in which they state they are is in doubt, because they don't tend to age in the typical or average way in which people are used to seeing, whether it's the deepening of their voice, the size of their body, their height, along with their size, facial hairs, etc. So physical appearance, مظهر خارجي. مظهر خارجي. So whether they accept or there is a dispute as to whether the minor or under question is of the age that they claim to be, there could be a dispute because due to their مظهر خارجي. Skills. They might dive deep into and inquire as to what their skills are in order to better support them and invest them invest their skills so that they can integrate well into the society as functional and productive individuals. So مهارة is skill, singular, and مهارات, مهارات is the plural, skills. Interview, so there might be types of interviews, different types of interviews, different duration of interviews that a minor or even an adult might go through. So interview is مقابلة, مقابلة, مقابلة. Right, don't know why I have this here. This I think is related to another title where I think I was talking about educational healthcare plan, or the EHCP. Am I saying it right? Educational healthcare plan. Yeah, EHCP. So that wasn't a home visit, but rather it was the assignment was taking place at a school. But regardless, head of safeguarding, here it is. رئيس قسم الحماية. رئيس means head of. قسم means department, and el means the definite article the, and حماية means protection. So within context, head of safeguarding is said as رئيس قسم الحماية. Now, if the person was a female, we would just add ta marbuta, which sounds like a h, and we say رئيسة, رئيسة. So moving on. Right, so remember when I mentioned that there could be different types of interviews, different lengths, etc. So there's an interview called a substantial interview, where it's a big interview, and therefore we have the word كبيرة. كبير means big. So interview, as previously I'd mentioned, is called مقابلة, or depending on the dialect, they would say مقابلة. So it would be an epiglottal sound where the qaf, that's that circle with the two dots, would be as if it's not there, and replaced with an epiglottal sound having the sound, and hence instead of being مقابلة, it will be مقابلة. So مقابلة هامة, meaning important interview, or مقابلة كبيرة. Right, screening interview. So مقابلة فحص, مقابلة فحص. Biometrics. So they've entered the country, where there's asylum seeker trying to seek a status of being a refugee, and their biometrics would have to be taken. So القياسات الحيوية, القياسات الحيوية. Fingerprints. بصمة is fingerprint, singular. بصمة. بصمات is fingerprints, plural. All right, so they might ask the individual whether they're a minor or an adult as to whether they have a savings account. حساب التوفير, حساب التوفير. Or a general bank account, حساب bank, حساب bank. Notice that the word bank sounds the same as English bank, and that is because due to colonialism, some of the words have integrated into modern standard Arabic as well as the colloquial Arabic. All right, so we have reached the 20th vocabulary or word or phrase for the day, and that's it for Live Before the Arabic Lounge. I'll see you tomorrow on Sunday, 6 till 7 on Eventbrite. You can get your tickets to take part in the interactive Arabic speaking workshop for Black female professionals or women of African heritage who are curious about the language or just want to get the Arabic learning experience out of their head and into an interactive and practical one. Thank you for joining. Looking forward to seeing in the comments any words that you would like to know how to say in Arabic for when you attend a home visit and an age assessment. Ma salama. Bye-bye.